there? Lavera, Nikita?
We are here. We just hit the record button, so the meeting is being recorded.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much. Good afternoon. Happy Friday, everyone. It is 3:05 p.m. and we will call the October 2020 meeting of the Minority Business Council to order. Before we get started and welcome everyone, I also like us to take a moment to recognize October as Hispanic and Latino Heritage Month, along with Filipino American History Month as well. And with that being said, let's move into, I believe we have some guests that are, I guess we say, in the virtual audience. And so at this particular point, with it being virtual, do we move to give everyone an opportunity to introduce themselves as well?
Certainly, that'll be fine.
Okay.
Lavera will just need to unmute everybody.
Okay, fantastic, Lavera. Did you want to move through? I think you had mentioned that there were 3 or 4 individuals that were present on today.
Yes, and that number has grown. So hold on one second. I will start. I don't want to mess up anyone's name, but I will go ahead and start unmuting. Frances has joined us as well. She's on the line. So I'm going to start. It puts it in alphabetical order. We have Athena. I will unmute you at this point and you can introduce yourself. I will not unmute you. I think you have to do that, Nikita.
Hi, I'm Athena Zanglewald. I am the CFO of Charming Eyesight LLC. We are a business that makes glasses charms. We are all women/LGBTQ based, and we're really excited to be a part of this.
Thank you, Athena. Welcome.
Thank you.
Hi, my name's Elizabeth. I am the CEO of Charming Eyesight out of Kempsville High School. Athena we work together. We make charms that you can put on your glasses, similar to a Pandora charm, as an expressive and inexpensive way to add some flair to your everyday eyewear.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And welcome.
Ms. Torres. Ms. Torres, Elizabeth Torres, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you. My name is Elizabeth Torres. I am the Vice President of the Chamber of Commerce and founder of the Hispanic Resource Center.
Thank you.
Welcome, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
Welcome, Elizabeth. This is Olga.
Hi. So I'm also in the Entrepreneurship and Business Academy, and I run a social media startup called Hey You. We're currently on the Google Play Store, and we're trying to get on the App Store. And I'm just really excited to, see what the Minority Business Council is all about.
Fantastic. Welcome.
And next we have Hannah Francis. Hello, Hannah. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Oh, yes. My name is Hannah Francis, and I attend the Entrepreneurship and Business Academy at Kempsville High School. I am a junior associate for the Minority Awareness Committee, and I'm excited to see what the Minority Business Council is all about.
Well, welcome, Hannah. We are so glad that you're with us.
Thank you.
Next, we have Julius Hayes. Mr. Hayes, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Julius Hayes. I'm also part of the Hey You group. As Evan said, we are on the Google Play Store, and I'm excited to see what the Minority Business Council is all about, and glad to be here.
Fantastic. We're excited to learn more about Hey You as well.
So, hi, I'm Calissa Blunt. I'm the CFO of Thriftkins, which is a business where we take recycled clothes and we make stuffed animals out of them to keep clothes from building up in the landfill. And I'm also the secretary of our Black Student Union, and I thought this was a very interesting opportunity to have.
Fantastic. Welcome. And your name again?
Calissa.
Calissa. Welcome, Calissa.
Thank you.
And I believe we have one more, Miss Viviana Fullwood. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Can you guys hear me? I'm not familiar with
Yes,
this. Okay,
we
great.
can hear you.
My name is Viviana Fullwood, and I'm the chairwoman for the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and I'm also the CEO for A+ Academics. Thank you.
Welcome, Viviana. Did I say that correctly?
That's perfect. Yep, outstanding.
Welcome. Thank you for
Thank you so
joining
much.
us. You're welcome.
All right, that's all your guests. Yes, that completes the guest list.
All right, and so do we have a quorum as of yet, Lavera?
No, ma'am.
Okay, well, we'll move forward with the industry hour. Thank you, Dr. Garcia, for your patience. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful Sunday, Friday. For all of you all that may not be aware, Dr. Johnny Garcia is the CEO and president of the Hispanic Chamber of Coastal Virginia. So with that being said, Dr. Garcia, you have the floor or the mic or the platform.
Great, thank you so much. Again, thank you for having us. I do have other members of our board who have called in. Obviously, it's Hispanic Heritage Month started. You guys can hear me, right?
Yes.
Yes, right. Okay, so it started September the 15th and it continues through October the 15th. It's an important time of the year for us Latinos, Hispanics, to recognize the importance of what we do. Unfortunately, it should be all year instead of 1 month. But that's kind of what I wanted to talk to y'all about today. And then I'm going to let Julian or Viviana talk about all the great things that the chamber's doing. My role in this today is to make sure that you as the Minority Business Council understand our role as Latinos in and around the Hampton Roads area, or the 757, whatever we want to call it. The Hampton Roads Hispanic Chamber of Coastal Virginia, we touch all parts of the 757, from up the peninsula to the south side to the eastern shore. And our role is to continue to support Hispanic-owned businesses. And currently, right now, during the pandemic, and who would have ever thought that this would happen in our lifetime, it's extremely important to understand the importance of Latino-owned businesses and their impact to our economy. One of the things that you need to understand is our important buying power as a business. So I hear the kids from, or young adults from the Kempsville Entrepreneurial School. I've done some work with them. I think we've given some scholarships to some folks there. It's extremely important to understand that our buying power, especially in the Hispanic, especially in the Hampton Roads region, we're almost close to 200,000 population in and around the 757. And our buying power is very immense. But one of the things that you understand about Latinos is mostly Latinos buy from Latinos. That's something that we definitely need to change. And I think earlier you were talking about, not buying from Amazon and buying small business, buying local. That's an extremely important aspect of what we need to do as a chamber, is buy local. And that's part of one of the key attributes to the chamber that we need to do. But not only that, we also need to support our communities, not just in the business community. Liz Torres, she's the president of the Hispanic Resource Center, which is an important community center to provide resources to underserved people, not just Hispanics. And right now, it's needed much more than ever, not just for businesses. And I see that most of y'all are in the city government at Virginia Beach, which is great, but we need to get more involved in what's going on in our community. And that's more what I wanted to say about outreach, about involvement in the community. What I'll do now is I'll turn it over to our chairwoman, Viviana, who she can talk about the types of things that the Hispanic Chamber is doing for coastal Virginia. Viviana?
Okay, so thank you, Dr. Garcia. So some of the things that we are doing with the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, number one is that we support other Latino-based businesses in addition to other businesses, but our focus has been to be able to support the community. We have helped a lot of businesses during the COVID-19 situation and them being able to apply for some of the services that were provided. We are also working with the Hispanic Resource Center to ensure that people have access to a lot of the resources. We're also going to be, just collaborating with other organizations, profit and nonprofit, to ensure that we can kind of all come together for the same purposes. A lot of us do have the same objectives, same goals, and our job is to kind of bring unity to ensure that we are able to help everyone. So some of the things that we're doing is we have just last night, Ms. Torres had an event at her facility and we were able to support her events. And I know that a lot of people call the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce just asking for resources in reference to, and it's not just business owners, but just people from the community asking for either assistance to pay their rent, or domestic abuse, or any educational concerns that they have. So our job is to ensure that we make that connection. So we can send them to organizations like the Hispanic Resource Center or others so they can get those needs met. So we're very excited about collaborating just a regular Chamber of Commerce with you guys as well, just to see how we can make connections to ensure that we can continue to help and so that all of our goals get met as well.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so thanks, Viv.
Okay.
We do have Liz Torres from the Hispanic Resource Center and also the Vice President of the Chamber on. Liz, I don't know if you wanted to add anything about what the Hispanic Resource Center is doing.
Yeah, so here at the Hispanic Resource Center, we did a little research before we opened up and trying to get an idea, what is our community here in Virginia? And we came to find out that growth in Latino and Hispanic Virginians account for a substantial share of overall growth in Virginia's population. So that's about over 1/3, about 38% of Virginia's total population growth since 2007. And it has been due to the growing numbers of, the Latino and Hispanic here. About 70% of the state's immigrants who were born in Latin America live in the northern part of Virginia, and another 10% live in the Richmond metro area. And then here, 9% within the Virginia Beach, Hampton Roads metro area. So our numbers are increasing. So 2/3 of the foreign-born Hispanics and Latino Virginians have been here in the United States for more than a decade. And 29% of that have been in the US for more than 20 years. The longer length of tenure that they've had here in the US as Hispanic Latino immigrants, has been amazing, right? It's a huge number. And as Latinos, immigrants living here in Virginia, we have contributed significantly to the economic stability of the state, as we've had time to put down our roots and adapt to our job skills and the need of our community. And so it's, by doing that research and understanding, what the growth has been here in Virginia, we also found the need of different, services that were lacking in being able to provide our population of the Latino and Hispanics. Hence why we are here, the Hispanic Resource Center. And we have been able to implement programs and be able to financially assist different families in the community, especially now during this whole COVID pandemic that we are living. We're working on right now being able to establish a tutoring educational programs to be able to assist families, including the parents, to be able to understand and assist their children who are taking either online classes or have already enrolled back into school, and be able to provide support and making sure that nobody falls behind. So students with, that needing a little bit of more assistance or some more tutoring, we're partnering up with the Hampton Roads University that's going to be assisting us, the professors, in addition to the internships, to be able to provide those services.
Great. Thanks, Liz. So I think what's the important part of all of this is collaboration, obviously, but also to get the word out that representation is extremely important. And unfortunately, here in the 757 and even in the state, we're very underrepresented. And we need more leaders, especially leaders in the boardrooms, leaders in businesses and things like that. Obviously, for myself, Liz, Viv, and Julian, we're leaders in our businesses. But we need more of these types of leaders that are coming out of the Hispanic, Latino communities and leading efforts. And Julian's on the phone. I'd like to give him a minute. I know we're taking a little bit over our time, but it's important for your council to understand our importance to the 757. So Julian, if you could give a minute about all the different types of things that we're looking forward to do in the future as far as the chamber is concerned. I don't see him on the call anymore. We might have lost him. But what the important part about the chamber is collaboration. So we've started to collaborate with the Hampton Roads Chamber, of which I'm a vice chair for small business, but also coordinating and organizing with our local universities, job postings, other types of things to ensure that we're helping not just the Hispanic community, but the community at large. And that's really our role as leaders, is to do that. So collaboration is important. I'm super excited that you guys reached out to us to be part of today's meeting. And now you're a little bit more educated about the importance of Hispanics and Latinos during Hispanic Heritage Month, but it should be during the entire year, not just these 30 days. Luckily for us, we got a month. Before we had a couple of days. Over the last 40 years or so, we have been very influential in what's happening all over our country. We are the largest minority group in America. By 2060, we'll be 100 million strong. One of every 3 children born are Hispanic. 16% of all college students are Hispanic. Our buying power today is 1.5 trillion with a T. And we're the future. And that's us in the Hispanic community. My role and my job is to ensure we have more representation in business, but also in our civic leadership. And other than that, I'll take any questions if there are any.
Absolutely. First of all, Dr. Garcia, I'd like to say once again, thank you so much for coming to the call on today. Not only was it informative, but it was educational as well. One of the things that we know for sure, even before COVID-19, that disparities existed. What COVID-19 did was just to shine a light on what those disparities really are and what the work is that needs to be done. I truly thank you and your team for focusing the efforts on buying local, because what that does, it positively impacts the entire community. The second piece is the education piece. I think it's critical, not only for the younger children, but the community throughout. So I appreciate you in regards to that. And then I think representation is key. The other piece is collaboration. I would like the NBC to work with you further. Olga is on the team. We're here as well. And I would like us to sort of maybe talk further about what that may look like as it relates to a collaboration, because we can certainly come to a call one day out of a month and say, these are things that we're going to do. But I would like to be able to solidify something so that we can begin to move the needle. And I, along with you, certainly believe that history is 365 a year. And so with that being said, thank you so much for coming. Are there any other questions? Members, NBC members, any questions? And I think I probably can see you raise your hand.
This is Councilman Ralph. I wanted to make a brief comment.
Yes.
Hi, Madam Chair. Thank you. Also, I want to say hi to the rest of the NBC members. It's good to see you all. I wanted to acknowledge the Kinston Entrepreneur School. I'm glad that we have them on to here to find out just what the NBC is about, and to have our guest speaker, Mr. Garcia, really inform us on the importance of the Hispanic Chamber and the economic power, but also something else said about representation, as Madam Chair has alluded to. I strongly believe in building up a conglomerate of cultures, of making sure that everyone is represented to really get those different perspectives that makes us a more cohesive unit that can really solidify and make sure we can increase our economic power, not only as a city, but as a region, a state, and as a country. And so when I hear that Hispanics have $1.5 trillion T, as Mr. Garcia stated, economic power, that is something to recognize. And I think that is something for us, the NBC, to work with Olga Torres, that she's done a great job being that bridge to the Hispanic community as well. But that's something that we have to continuously make an effort and reach out to the Hispanic community to build this really strong team of unity that can make sure we aren't leaving anyone, we're not overlooking anyone and leaving no stone unturned. So, Mr. Garcia, I want to say thank you for the information. I've heard you speak a couple other times. I'm always very impressed, and you can count on me and anything I can do to help make sure that the Hispanic Chamber is involved in the NBC, and as usual, NBC, we're going to push the envelope. We're going to set high goals, and we're going to aspire to reach those goals. So I just wanted to touch on that, and thank you.
Great, thank you very much for the comments. Any other questions?
Madam Chair, this is Olga Torres. Just wanted to again thank you all for the opportunity to have as our guest today the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce of Coastal Virginia, and thank you, Dr. Garcia, for accepting the invitation. And just to make it a record and be known that I am, as always, very excited to continue to serve as a bridge on behalf of the city of Virginia Beach towards all of our partners in the business community, in the Hispanic business community. So I'm excited, and I can't wait to continue on this journey.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Again, Dr. Garcia, we truly appreciate you not only as the voice for the Hispanic Chamber, but also I have had an opportunity to meet you several times and hear you speak as well. Thank you for the impact that you're making as relates to technology for those in underserved communities. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so I'm going to go enjoy the weekend now, if that's okay.
All righty, thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, bye-bye.
We'll be in touch. Take care.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Lavera, do we have a quorum?
Yes, ma'am, you have a quorum.
Okay, fantastic, fantastic. We'll go back to the minutes at this particular point, or is it roll call that you need to take first, Lavera?
I will take the roll call first.
Okay.
So when I call your name, please unmute yourself and indicate if you're present. Kelvin Arthur? Kelvin Arthur?
Here at work? No. Still?
Yes, we hear you. Thank
Okay,
you.
great.
Harshad Barat? Harshad Barat? Francina Harrison?
Present.
Ed Hopper? Ed Hopper? Ron Lewis?
Present.
Clarence Neely?
Present.
Francis Thompson?
Present.
Olga Torres? Olga Torres?
Present.
Damon Watson? Damon Watson? Sheila Johnson?
Present.
And Madam Chair, I did see Mr. Hopper on the call. So Ed Hopper, are you there?
You're mute, Ed.
Okay, you do have a quorum, however you do.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Lavera. We're going to go back and we are going to, did everyone have an opportunity to review the minutes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fantastic. Can I get a motion in regards to approval of the minutes?
Make a motion. This is Olga. I make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Thank you. Lavera, this is, and I think Clarence seconded. It has been moved and probably seconded. Lavera, is this where you need to go back and do individual responses?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh.
Kelvin Arthur?
Yes.
Harshad Barat? Francina Harrison?
Yay.
Ed Hopper? Ron Lewis?
Yes, approved.
Clarence Neely?
Yay.
Francis Thompson? I'm sorry.
Yay.
Olga Torres?
Yay.
Damon Watson? And Sheila Johnson?
Yes. Thank you, Lavera. The minutes have been approved. We'll move into, I think that the next thing on our list is our committee report. We'll move into outreach report. Damon, is Damon on the line, Lavera?
Damon is not on the line.
Okay, we'll come back to him later. We'll move to minority awareness. Francis Thompson.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I'm happy to be here and happy to be able to share my committee report. Lavera, do you want me to share my screen or do you want to put the report up, or how do you want me to do that? Just read my report?
You can share your screen at this time. That's fine.
Okay, let's see. And just when I thought I had it. No, I don't think I have I don't think I have the capability to share my screen, but it's okay. I'll just go through the report. And we'll probably get it out to everybody later on with the rest of the package. I want to talk a little bit about our social media. Right now, we are not, our social media is kind of stalled a little bit. And so we've only added a few followers on Facebook, no new likes. And our Twitter, we have increased a couple of followers, and Instagram, there's no change either. So our social media is maintained by Jaquita Clark Thompson. And so we've talked about this a little bit in our meeting, and I'll share some more with you about the social media plan as I go through the report. I want to give a shout out to my folks over at Kempsville High School, the Entrepreneurship Business Academy. You rock today. You showed up and showed out, and I am so excited. I was smiling. I don't know if you can see me, but I'm smiling away. I'm so happy to be partners with you and invite you to be a part of this learning experience for you, and I know it'll be a benefit to you. So we welcome you, welcome, welcome, welcome. Also, I want to shout out to our associates too. You may be here because they're as attendees and not as panelists, but we have some associates who are attending the meeting too, and we're proud of you and happy that you joined us. So with our collaboration with Kempsville High School and the EBA there, Olga and I presented a masterclass, I think they called it, on Friday, September 18th, and there were 117 students who attended. Boy, were we overwhelmed. And so we were very, very pleased. Both administrators, Ms. Timlin and Ms. Houchins, both attended the presentation, and they expressed their gratitude and their appreciation to the MBC for sharing information with them and the students. And let me show you, thank you, Lavera. And they sent a card. I don't know if you can see the card, but yeah, they sent, oops. They sent a card. Let me read the card. It says, Francis, thank you for presenting a masterclass to our EBA students. The information shared on the MBC was important and relevant for our students. We are so excited about our partnership with the MBC and all of your our opportunities in the future. We are grateful you reached out to connect with us. We appreciate you. Thank you, Kempsville High School EBA staff and students. And then they sent me a sticker too. So I'm sure that they also did the very same thing for Olga as well. So we were just very pleased to have been able to present to the students there. They were very engaged, questions. They were very attentive during the chat and during the presentation. We got questions. And I am happy to introduce to you today Miss Hannah Francis. She did express she introduced herself at the beginning of the meeting. She was approved as our first junior associate. Miss Francis is a senior at Kempsville High School. She's enrolled in the Entrepreneurship and Business Academy there. She is also, catch this, dual enrolled at TCC. She's working toward an associate degree in business administration, and it's her goal to become a business owner in the future after exploring the field of business management. And so we're just very pleased to have her on board. We're also looking for perhaps another student to join us as a junior associate. We can have two students to be a part of our partnership and collaboration. I think that goes for a thumbs up. Y'all have to stick your thumbs up. I think that's pretty darn good, because here's the thing, MBC, we're great, but they're young people coming up, and they've got to learn the ropes, and this is a great way for us to show them the ropes. Well, let me not stay there. Okay. And so now let's talk about a little bit of the MAC goals, our committee goals. We met this month, and we met on Tuesday this week, and we talked about specific goals that you'll see down at the bottom. We have specific goals, I don't think this is the right report, but it's okay. Goal number 2 and 3, create initiatives that develop and implement marketing and communication programs. That's number 2. And then number 3 is coordinate media communications and advertising activities necessary to brand the overall image of NBC. We focused on those 2 goals, and we said that we would like to do some strategies. So we're going to do some brainstorming and some thinking over the next month about how we can engage deeper. I think Francina brought this to us. We're not getting more visibility on Facebook and social media necessarily, or getting more followers or whatever, but rather than go wider, we're going deeper. And Francina brought that to us. And perhaps we could engage them deeper with connections by looking at some of the survey data from last year, from the expo, to see how we can engage those people who provided information about us so we can know what they need in order to be successful. There we go. That's the right one. We want to go deeper with those people who expressed interest through the survey from the expo last year. So Lavera and the staff will be sending us some of the data so that we can look back over it, see what we can do to engage them deeper, maybe get some groups through social media, some focus groups and whatever, just to kind of get with them and connect with them closer. We also mentioned cultural awareness, and it's just so beneficial that we had that today, to have Dr. Garcia to be with us today. Of course, we always, embrace our own Olga, but it was great to hear from him today as well. So we wanted to talk about doing some cultural awareness and talk about how maybe specific minorities and specific ethnic communities might want to get more involved, and that way we will promote diversity within the business community, which is our objective number 4 too. So we have a lot to think about. We'll bring all of this to the executive committee on how we can further engage the community, especially minority, small business owners, women business owners. We want to engage them a little deeper rather than trying to reach more people at this particular point in the pandemic. Okay, so that's really the report for today. And like I said, all of this will come before the executive committee. Want to say thank you, as I always do, to Lavera and Keith and Nikita. They help us so very much. And we just appreciate you so much for your support and collaboration. I think that's all I have right now. But I tell you what, I'm a happy sister. So thank you very much for your attention. And if you have questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Thank you so much, Francis. We certainly appreciate it. We're going to move to data collection and analysis. Olga.
Can you hear me?
We can.
Am I on mute now?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. Thank Ms. Francis for a wonderful report, and to confirm that yes, indeed, I received my own personal note and my very own decal. So that was really nice. Okay, so Madam Chair, the necessary reports from the Oracle system to be able to provide the NBC with a quarterly report data on items such as the number of SWAM business in the supplier portal, for example, which will also be broken down by ethnicity and gender, which is great. The reports will also provide the following information based on business classification type, which includes small, woman, or minority-owned, as well as services to disabled veteran-owned businesses. So the information, the specifics will be award amount for the quarter, expenditure amount for the quarter, industry type, such as construction, professional services, AE services, and goods and services. SWAM certification, if applicable, in SWAM ordinance, if and when applicable. For example, shelter bidding, project goals, etc. So that's pretty much my report. We're continuing to dig in to get the information ready for you, and we're excited to be able to share a really good report, hopefully at the next meeting. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much, Olga. We certainly appreciate all of your efforts. We're going to move into I think we have policy. Kelvin? Kelvin, are you mute?
I am trying. I don't know if
Okay.
we're successful yet or not.
Okay,
Can you hear me
we
yet?
can hear you. We can hear you
Okay,
now.
great. Thank you. Well, good afternoon, everyone. A couple of things, no formal report from policy, but I want to thank to Lavera and Rebecca for kind of filling in some gaps for me. Wanted to find out what our new city manager thought of our efforts. So they were very good at supplying some background that I think is very important. So I'm going to share that. Our new city manager is a former purchasing agent as well as a former director of inclusion and diversity. So he is very, very keen, sees as a top priority our inclusion of our minority SWAM businesses, disabled veteran, all of our classifications of businesses in our procurement processes. He has applauded our efforts thus far. He's familiar with disparity studies. City of Cincinnati has gone through one back in 2015. So I thought it was very important for us to know that our efforts thus far, from disparity study to our ordinances, and as Olga mentioned, numbers are forthcoming on sheltered bidding and our different measures that we put in place. Our current city manager is very supportive of these efforts, has applauded our steps. And again, I think that validates the efforts that this body has taken over the years. I haven't the new city manager yet, but those of you who have, or if you do run into him, thank him, have a word with him on our efforts. He's aware of what we do. He is directly weekly meeting with Rebecca and Lavera on requisitions that are over $100,000, taking a very hands-on approach. And again, I think this is a very big positive for us as a board, for our efforts to have someone who comes with his background and understanding of what we do. So, Madam Chair, those are the comments that I wanted to share today. Thank you for this time.
Thank you so much, Kelvin. We appreciate your report. We appreciate your efforts as well. We're going to move to other business. Staff report, Rebecca.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and council members. This beautiful Friday, I can't wait to get out there. So with COVID, as you know, some of our plans, particularly for ERP and then in engaging SWAM businesses, we're hampered, but we have figured out ways to still engage the community. We're still attending conferences if they're virtual. For example, Lavera and Keith attended a conference yesterday called ProcureCon, and I know they met with a dozen or so, and it really engaged a dozen or so businesses that we haven't utilized in Virginia Beach. As Olga said, we're still pulling reports from the system. One of the numbers we do know is that we now have over 450 SWAM businesses in the system, which is up more than 50% from the last report. So those numbers are growing rapidly. We're super excited about the Small Business Institute. That's ongoing virtually. So the last session of that is this next Tuesday, and then we'll do another one in the spring. So we've got those going in a virtual format. One of the things that I think we're working on sessions where we go through SWAM initiatives and supplier portal and answer any questions that folks may have about doing business with the city. And Nikita and Lavera and Keith are very involved in putting those out, and they're absolutely wonderful. And we're getting some city employees to start listening to those and hearing those as well so that they can help more folks. One of the things we might ask is that if we could send you some information about those, if they could be perhaps, Francis, I'm looking at you, put out on social media or advertised on the social media so that more folks who folks who are following NBC might be able to take advantage of some of those educational opportunities. So we can talk to you guys if you're interested in doing some of that for us. But other than that, we're just working really well. As Kelvin said, our new city manager is Mr. Patrick Duhaney is breath of fresh air. He knows procurement. He knows our challenges. He's been through them before, and he is exceptionally supportive. And is going to help us with some resources to get things rolling maybe a little quicker and in the right direction, so that we're focused on our end game and not just putting tools in place, but putting tools in place with a strategy in mind of what outcomes we want to see. So we're really excited about the future. Are there any questions for me on the staff report?
Yes, will the new city manager be coming into one of our meetings?
I don't know at this time, but I will certainly pass along the invitation. I would be surprised if he didn't at some point, but I don't know. I can't speak for him, but I can certainly talk to him about it.
Yes,
Awesome.
we're working on inviting him. Thank you so much, Rebecca. This is fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you guys for the support, and any ideas you have, we're happy to entertain them.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. As always, we appreciate you. Thank you for the info. And we're going to move to 2020 Census Subcommittee report. Olga.
Madam Chair, while I can tell you, I just heard yesterday that the whole 99, percentage in Virginia Beach is specifically, but I'll be sure to get that information and share with everyone sometime in between this meeting and the next one.
Thank you so much, Olga. Thank you for the work that you're doing. And that is great news that we're in a 99 percentile. Hopefully, City of Virginia Beach will be up there somewhere as well. Next, Minority Business Commission report. I don't think Damon is on the line. Ed, do you have a report in regards to the Minority Business Commission? Ed, are you on mute? Damon, are you on mute? Okay, we'll move forward with Economic Development report. Is Jeff online? Well, I think you said someone from Economic Development would be online. Is that correct, Lavera?
Yes, I believe Letitia Lancaster is on the line.
Ms. Lancaster, are you online in regards to the Economic Development report? Are you muted? Okay, we'll move to the liaison report. Councilman Rouse.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
You're welcome.
First, thank you. Am I coming through okay?
You went out a little bit, Councilman Rouse. You may want to start over.
All right, great. Just want to say thank you. It's like I said earlier, it's good to see fellow NBC members. One of the things I want to address really quickly is the pandemic and our finances and what we budgeted for throughout this pandemic. Our city has fared slightly better than what we thought. Making it through this pandemic, obviously, it's not where we hoped we would be, but it's not the worst case scenario. I'm making this point because what I think the NBC should look towards is our expo. I know we wanted to, had higher aspirations to do an expo this year, and I'm interested into hearing from you, Madam Chair, and the rest of the council. But I really think it would be, it would serve us well to kind of wait until the spring because of obviously the highly charged political atmosphere. We don't know quite sure where the second round of stimulus may come to help our small businesses out. And we don't know if, like it appears to be, COVID may be making a second surge. And so while everyone focuses on something else, I would think it would really be kind of, it wouldn't do us well to try and host an expo in the midst of everything we're going through right now. I think our attention should focus on post-COVID. That way the election's out the way. We should have some sense of stimulus, whether that's coming from the federal or state level, and then we focus on finding resources for small women and minority-owned, disabled-owned businesses. And I think that way we can kind of, we can gear it towards a resurgence of the NBC and making sure we can support our businesses after this post-COVID, so to speak. So I'm open to hearing and listening to what the fellow NBC members think, and obviously I will support you all either way. The question about the city manager, yes, I've spoken to the city manager. Hopefully trying to get him to come. I think he'll be open to that. As Rebecca stated earlier, he procurement. This is his area. He's very strong in these areas. This is something that is very, very important to him. And so I don't think that's a tall ask. And so from that standpoint, again, I'm looking forward to another great year with the NBC. And as always, I always want to leave you all with a challenge because I think it's important for us to always self-examine and figure out the things we can do better. But I'm really proud to work with you all. I want to take this second really quick to thank Olga and Francis for what you're doing with our students, what you're doing, making sure they are, becoming aware of being young entrepreneurs as well. Make sure they're networking, how to conduct and carry themselves in this business climate, empowering them, listening to them. I think that is awesome. That is great. And yeah, I think that would conclude my report. So thank you as always. I'm here to support, and I hope everyone has a great weekend.
All right, thank you so much, Councilman Rouse. As always, we really appreciate your support and the way that you continue to represent the NBC, not only within the city of Virginia Beach, but throughout the state and wherever you go. So thank you so much. We really appreciate you, and we certainly value your thoughts, your opinions, your ideas as well. One of the conversations that we had, I think it may have been the last meeting, and in particular with the Outreach Committee, was the discussion regarding moving forward with an expo. Our concerns are the same. I think you had some great points there. It's the political climate, it is COVID. There are so many things that are going on at this particular time. And we want to make sure that when we do have the expo, that there is an impact. I do love the word that you used was resurgence. And I love the idea that the focus would be on right now, ensuring that the businesses that are impacted, that they have the resources necessary to continue to move forward. And so I think all of us at this particular point, because November is really right around the corner, believe that November is probably not the great time for several reasons that was mentioned, that the spring, or once we sort of come out of this fog, would be a better time for us to have the impact that we sort of expect. And those are my thoughts. Does anyone else have something that they would like to share?
I had a question actually with what, can y'all hear me? Dan.
Yes.
Yeah, well, like, and you kind of wrapped it up some way, Madam Chair, with obviously anything, but understanding that the upside down, I guess for our liaison with, everything happening, stimulus, not just for business, but we understand economically some states are in a different place. So even if we do move forward with whatever we're events in, every year, spring, and then we have our expo. I'm just curious that we know that we have to be, we should always be economically prudent. But even now, moving forward, the virtual opportunities to do what we do, that hopefully the city, our budget will be. Obviously we can't probably grand scale be done before. That's just being prudent. But at the virtual level, there's still some expenses with that. And maybe this is something that y'all will talk about later. But I'm hoping still, that even if we do it virtually, that still has some cost. But hopefully, are we able to do a quality virtual event, making with safety first, but still making sustainability a part of that conversation. So, just be like we're on WebEx now, but even to pull off a conference, there's still, in my opinion, apps and things a little bit more that have a cost to them that perhaps will be in our budget to do that. So I'm just, putting that out there, that if that is something we need to be aware of, or that's not going to happen, we can be more creative if that's kind of where we need to go spring and fall next year. I just want to put that out there as something to think about, and maybe we could get an answer later on that piece.
Thank you so much, Francina. Thank you so much, Francina. Absolutely. Anything else?
If I could, I just wanted to say, Francine, that's a great point. I think, again, with any, great challenge that we face and that we're facing comes great opportunity. And so I think, we have the opportunity here to set the new normal, to set a new precedent, and set and chart the pathway in which we want to go. And so the key word you used there was to be creative. And I know with these members and everyone on our team and board, I have no doubt in my mind we can come up with creative ways to engage, empower, and uplift our minority businesses. So I'm looking forward to what we come up with.
Thank you, Councilman. Anyone else? All righty, we'll move on to School Board Liaison, Dr. Parrott. Are you on the line?
Chair and
yes,
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, Madam Chair and fellow council members. Hope you can hear me all right. I don't have a formal report, and I'm so happy that I was able to join today, especially with our Kimsville High School students participating. And again, we've been busy with the reopening of school. And on Tuesday, we welcomed back our 6th graders and 9th graders that have that families have selected for option 1. And so just continue to keep our school division, our teachers, our school leaders, and all that support teaching and learning in Virginia Beach in your thoughts. And we are working hard to get all of our students back in school that wish to report back face to face. And I'm just happy to be back with you. I feel like out of sight, out of mind, and hopefully that has not been the case. And I miss meeting with you all at the town center, and I just look forward to continued engagement with the Minority Business Council, and also some news that some good news that has occurred since the pandemic is on September 9th of 2020, Virginia Beach City Public Schools School Board approved equity policy, educational equity policy. And this is during a time of social unrest, racial unrest, and our school board was brave and courageous in passing educational equity policy that will continue to anchor our commitment to equity in Virginia Beach City Public Schools. We have a lot of work to do, and a lot of work has been done, but this educational equity policy is giving us, igniting another fire for us to continue the great work in the school division. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lakeith. We really appreciate the work that you're doing to ensure our kids have the tools necessary. to move forward. Thank you so much. And it's good to hear your voice as well again on today. And maybe someday when the world opens up, we will have a new normal where we can all sit in the same room together and get some lunch afterwards. Okay, so thank you so much for that.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
Madam Chair.
Yes, Francis.
This is Francis. I was hoping that maybe Dr. Parrott would tell us of her new position. She has been promoted. So I would love for her to tell us about her new position if she's got a minute or two.
Yes, Dr. Parrott, we would love to hear that information.
Thank you, Ms. Thompson, for bringing that matter up during the meeting. I appreciate that, Ms. Thompson. But as Ms. Thompson is sharing, is that during all of this, during the pandemic, in July of 2020, Dr. Spence has promoted me to his office of the superintendent. So I now report directly to Dr. Spence. I will increase the size of my office. I have a full-time administrator now, full-time associate now. Her name is Jody Blofis, and we've been working together since July of 2020. Pending school board approval, I'll have a coordinator soon, and I look forward to inviting that person, once approved by our school board, to be my. And again, with the passing of our educational equity policy, one of the next steps I've been planning since September 9th is our equity assessment of our school division, and that will involve not only the quantitative data that that we have in our school division around equity, equitable outcomes. And so the Minority Business Council will be very important in that qualitative piece and sharing information about how we can become better as a school division and what supports are needed and what the needs are through your perspective, through the Minority Business Council. And so, so some of the work looks the same, but it's definitely been elevated as Dr. Spence has been a great thought partner and of course a leader for equity in the division. And so, that's what's happened.
Well, congratulations, and thank you so much, Francis, for reminding her to share this good information. Yes, this is excellent. So I'm excited about it. Anything else? That's all the sharing? Okay. Well, thank you so much. I think we are bringing this to a close. I want to remind you, each of you, to submit your volunteer form. Thank you so much, Keith, for getting that information out to everyone. I also want to thank not only city staff and the work that they do to support us. Thank you so much, Councilman Rouse, and thank you to the members, associates, and now our new junior associate. Like I said, we're a team. We do this together. And I'm excited as to what's next and how this will continue to unfold. So thank you, everyone, and we'll be chatting real soon. And so it is about 4:08 p.m. And I will call the meeting to a close and give you back your Fridays. And Francis, we're coming over to your house with all the greenery.
All right.
Bye. Have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend.
Okay, thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Everybody.